Hey there, everybody. Pete Bardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Cover. Today, we're going to do part one of a two-parter of a two-part storyline in the Avengers from 1979. We're going to start here with issue number 183. The Absorbing Man Lives. For those of you who have been watching Comic Book Users for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of the Absorbing Man. Very cool villain. The guy who, whatever he touches, he can turn his body into the element that whatever it is he touches is made of. So if he touches steel, he turns into, his skin is hard as steel. If he turns into glass, water, fire, plastic, wood, whatever it might be, right? So there we have a very cool cover, of course, done by Perez and Austin, who did so many great covers on the Avengers issues around this time. Of course, George was doing lots of the interiors earlier on, 10, 15 issues ago, but then moved off of the Avengers book, but he did show up and do the covers quite a bit. So here we've got David Michelin, the writer, John Byrne on the pencils, Klaus Janson on the inks, Novak on letters, Sharon on colors, Roger Stern, editor, and Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. So here we have the redoubtable return of Crusher Creel. And there you can see at the Avengers Mansion, there's the Beast, there's Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is now in the ranks of the Avengers. Here, talking to Inspector Gyrich. I think you'd be wise, Mr. Gyrich, to have your overzealous agent here remove his clammy paw from my wrist, unless, of course, the National Security Council plans on opening a special branch for one-handed operatives, right? So, of course, their Avengers are going through all sorts of security checks and things like that because, of course, the government is thinking that they're not doing their jobs and they're letting out too many secrets and the security is lax and all that kind of stuff. Look, lady, positive ID is a standard requirement for joining the Avengers these days. Otherwise, how will we know it's really you behind that Ms. Marvel mask? So she's, of course, the new Avenger, and the government wants to make sure that she is, who she says she is, right? But, of course, Tony Stark comes walking in. It's like, come on. She's good, whatever. So then we cut to the Vision, who's in the control room there by himself. Of course, Wanda is going, Scarlet Witch, his wife, going off on a mission with her brother Pietro, Quicksilver. So they're kind of saying goodbye on the phone. Right then down below we've got a little meeting of, we got the Wasp there, we got Tony Stark, Ms. Marvel, and the Beast. And Ms. Marvel is all happy that she's a full-fledged Avenger at this point now. Beast says, "Congratulations, Ms. Marvel. It'll be a pleasure avenging alongside you." All right. So then Tony goes back to his office, sees that there's some stuff going on outside, changes into his Iron Man costume, goes outside and helps this garbage truck, which has a really, really heavy load that they're unable to get the receptacle into the truck. So he kind of helps out along there. The Beast comes out. He helps out as well. Just doing some good deeds, right? But then, as we follow the garbage truck back to where they're dumping everything off in the landfill, coming out from underneath the landfill, made of glass, is Crusher Creel, otherwise known as the Absorbing Man. So we hadn't seen him since Hulk 209. So if you remember, he had that big battle with Hulk 209. And then he goes, At last, I've waited months for all my parts to be dumped into one place so as I could will myself back together again. Yeah, those do-gooders thought I was finished when I turned to glass while falling from that new building, fighting the Hulk, right? So his he turned to glass, crashed, his body went to pieces all over the place, so he had to kind of wait for all of the garbage to get kind of deposited at the landfill, and then he was able to pull all of his body parts together to become whole again. They were dead wrong, and now that I'm back, I've got something to do. So I think he's got a little revenge on his mind, right? Yes, indeedy. Then down below, we got Captain America talking to Sam Wilson, right? Otherwise known as the Falcon, because the government's saying, you guys, in order to continue on being a team that's sponsored by the government, you've got to represent, right, all different races and ethnic races and things like that. So you have to have an African American on the team. Yeah, this was the 70s, guys. And so Cap is talking to Sam and convincing him to join the Avengers, right? Because we got to have a black man on the team, right? Yeah. advertisements there. So he finally goes along with it. It's not my idea, Sam. The government says we have to have more minority members, and if you don't join, the Avengers priority privileges will be suspended. Oh, well, then maybe I ought to change my name to the Token, huh? Blast it, Steve. I've proven myself as a superhero, and I don't like being chosen to fill a quota. I don't like it either, but not one bit, but our backs are to the wall. Call it a personal favor, Sam, please. Well, if you're going to play dirty and put it that way, okay, but I don't do windows. Ouch. So then we cut to a little shop, Salon in New York City. Crusher Creel breaks in. Takes the woman who owns the shop hostage, right? And he calls her Chippy, right? That's what he calls her. So takes her hostage, turns himself into, does a couple things in front of her there, turns himself into steel or iron or whatever, grabs the safe from the floor, takes out some money. Okay, then we've got Wanda getting ready to get on the boat, saying goodbye to Cap. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Clint Barton, Hawkeye. Got confused. Got a lot of blonde guys in the Avengers, right? So of course, Hawkeye is basically getting pushed out of the Avengers in favor of Ms. Marvel. So he's got to pack his bag. So he sees Wanda off, and he's just kind of like, what do I do now, right? So then Absorbing Man and his captive, Chippy, it's not her real name, he's hungry, so they take a cab, they go downtown, they go into a little diner. Of course, sitting at the diner is Hawkeye, Clint Barton, minding his own business, and Absorbing Man comes in, he's just, being a dick, basically, and Hawkeye tries to go, hey, bub, what are you doing? And he just knocks him away. Here's where it all starts, right, folks? So then the fight commences. All right, everybody starts trying to gang up on the Absorbing Man. That doesn't turn out well. So Hawkeye gets on the phone. He goes to call the rest of the Avengers, saying the Absorbing Man is running amok. Okay, he goes to change into his gear. They go outside, and him and the Absorbing Man get into it. Hawkeye's got his gear on, starts slinging some net arrows and things like that at him. That doesn't really work so well, as you can see. Then onto the scene, here we go. There's Iron Man, the Wasp, the Vision, Ms. Marvel, and the Beast. The battle begins, and of course they're right by the water. All right, so here we go. So one guy against the whole team, right? And here they notice he basically goes down below into one of the ships, and he absorbs the power of the turbine of this cruise ship that's there. And as you can see, he's now, what does he say here? He goes, what's the matter, heroes? Never see a man who's absorbed the power of a ship's turbines before? Well, you're going to remember it, because I never wanted this. All I wanted was to go away, be left alone. But if you won't let go without a fight, then I'll give you a fight. And it ain't going to stop till this harbor runs red with Avengers blood. Coming up next issue, Death on the Hudson. This is interesting. So they give you here a preview of the cover of the next issue. They didn't usually do that, because the Marvel was always working on tight schedules, so they didn't always have covers designed and all that sort of thing until right before the deadline. So here, kind of weirdo, a month before, you've already got the cover. But those of you who are familiar with this issue and the one that came after it know that the cover actually turned out to be a little bit different, because the Absorbing Man on the final cover was not red. He should have been, because as you can see at the end of this particular issue, he was red, bursting with all the energy of the turbine, right? So the big battle commences on the pier overlooking the Hudson River in New York City for issue number 184. Tune in on Friday morning. I'll give you part 2, the final part to this little storyline. So there you have it. Issue number 183 of the Avengers. If you've read this one, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, it's a good one. If you like the Absorbing Man as I do, these are fun issues. John Byrne doing the art on this. This is a good long run from John. Working with various inkers each and every issue. It's been kind of like a revolving cast of inkers, but the results are always really, really good. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. We also have the link below to our the Sea of Tranquility merch page where you can get yourself a Comic Book Geezers t-shirt or coffee mug. Those are really cool. The Adventures of Wood. It's a Wild Bill design that our merch guy David kind of took and made it really, really cool. So go investigate and hopefully pick up one of those for yourself and wear it out there in the wild, promoting Comic Book Geezers. And we'll see you on Friday with issue number 184, the conclusion of the battle with the Absorbing Man in the Avengers. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.